Awesome. So lesson went really, really good. We kind of focused a little bit on tempo, actually a lot on tempo, timing, weight transfer, all that good stuff. What was the most helpful of the three things that we kind of worked on today, in your opinion?
I think it was initially the setup, because like I said, I had a very unorthodox setup and trying to figure that out and never really broke it down. And then also the tempo was huge, and after a couple misses all over, it was that saying of load it and go, and that was the perfect one. The other thing was I never fully loaded, as you've seen, and wasn't getting through. And then once I got to that full load, it felt a lot better, a lot crisper. Everything was spot on.
And that was only access through having really good tempo. Would you agree?
I would agree, yeah.
That's perfect. And then we also kind of worked a little bit on contact, because I noticed like on your clubs obviously, and then during the swing you were hitting the toe quite a bit.
Yep.
And we worked on this a little bit, but you mainly fixed it yourself. What kind of did you do to fix the contact, I should say?
So it's ball placement was always a thing, regardless of the club and getting out, right? Like the longer clubs to have it a little further out so I could clear it and not get stuck behind it. But for the wedges, I seem to not have that problem. So through trial and error, it was just, okay, well, how do I see this ball every time? And when I saw it out of the glaze of my nose and that angle, I knew I was in the sweet spot.
Perfect. I mean, obviously, whatever was working there at the very end is what you need to keep doing, because that was on point. So now looking to the future, I'm going to be gone for a couple weeks over spring break, and I might be getting some surgery stuff done. In a couple weeks, what would be a good time to do another lesson? Because I need to get at least one more in. Do you like Fridays or Thursdays? Which days work better for you typically?
Well, it depends on if we're going to go to a course.
That's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
Then it would have to either be a little later. I just have to adjust my calendar. But as long as I have a couple days notice, I can give you an accurate date and time.
That sounds awesome. And we'll just kind of keep in touch and talk about that then. But again, kind of on the future note, goals.
Yep.
Setting goals. What are you kind of looking to do? Are you wanting to? Is there a particular score you're looking for? Is there shot shapes and the long-term goals we're talking about right now?
So there's a bunch.
Okay.
Right. Aside from the consistency,
which we talked about,
having that there, right? I mean, I'm definitely intrigued about learning these wedges now, and these distances and spins, and what they're going to do.
Perfect.
That's a part of my game that I never even thought about. Right. It was just hit the ball and like all feel.
And pray. Yeah.
Yeah. So a little poke and hope, and that was the thing, man. Like, so I'm interested in that because I'm a data guy, right? I love my data. So if I know what that spin is going to do and what type of shot, also those 4 different types of swings for each club, it's something I never even thought of taking it to the next level to get the score I want of just breaking 80 for now.
Breaking 80 for now is okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome. So obviously the next lesson is going to be in a little bit. You have a round coming up soon at Bears Best. Tell me how that goes. That'd be awesome. I'd love to hear how that ends up going. But for our next practice, how does long clubs sound? Like long irons, woods, maybe even a little bit of driver?
Sure.
Perfect. Sounds good. Because you talked about the end of last lesson, that the longer clubs aren't as hard as the wedges. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far like they don't go where they're supposed to go the majority of the time because it's so much longer, right? Like
that part
it's just a lot of
more
mistakes, a lot of room for error.
Very, very true.
Longer, so.
Yeah, and we'll tackle that then. But yeah, thanks for those goals. It's very good for me to keep in my mind. And again, that was just a really good lesson. The tempo was perfect. So yeah, thank you very much, Matt. I'm looking forward to meeting again very soon.
All right.